Okay, today we're going to be talking about Habakkuk and explain the mystery contained therein, which has been given to me to explain to everybody. And it's written in scripture that this energy that comes out of God's hand will be revealed in the end times. So what does it say? Well, I've brought up three Hebrew to English translations, so I'm going to read them all out and then I'm going to go through and explain what it means. So here we have our first one, and what does it say? It says, this is Habakkuk 3. O Lord, I have heard your speech, was afraid, O Lord. Your work in the midst of the years revive. In the midst of the years make known. In wrath, mercy remember. Okay, so let's go back through it and kind of turn it into English and put full stops and everything where they should be. So Habakkuk is calling out to the Lord. O Lord, I have heard your speech, which is, well, God's speech is a whirlwind. So again, that is energy. He's heard about what God does and his power. And he says, I was afraid. Then he says to the Lord, O Lord, your work in the midst of the years revive. So in the midst of the years, if we go down to the bottom, we will see in wrath, remember mercy, mercy remember. What that means is in the midst of the years of the wrath, make known your work and what you do. So you have to re-listen. O Lord, I have heard your speech about yourself and was afraid. O Lord, your work in the midst of the years, please revive it. In the midst of the years, make it known. In your wrath, remember mercy. Basically, so we all understand, and that's what I'm trying to give you. I'm trying to explain what's coming out of God's hand. Let's have a look at the next one. Now I'm giving comparisons of three so that you can see that it all means the same thing. Here's another version, going down at 3:2. I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Lord, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years make known. In wrath remember mercy. So again, he is pleading with the Lord that in the midst of the years, which is, I would say, is now, make known your power. So that in your anger remember mercy, because we're just dust and God can easily destroy us. So Habakkuk is pleading with the Lord that he remembers mercy and revives his works in the midst of the years and make it known how he did things to give mercy. And again, finally, O Yahweh, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Yahweh, revive thy work in the midst of the years. Make known in wrath and remember mercy. So the wrath is about to arrive. And basically, this is Habakkuk pleading with God to make known how he does everything. Because then Habakkuk goes on to explain what needs explaining. And this is what he explains to me and has given to me. So we start off in 2. I have heard the report of thee, and I am afraid, O Lord. See, here it says report. So he's heard what God does and how he does things. I have heard the report of thee, and am afraid, O Lord. Revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years make it known. In wrath, and we see the wrath arriving with earthquakes and all this climate change and everything else. It's all electrical, which is why it's happening. In the midst of the years make it known. In wrath remember compassion. And we drop down to 4. And the brightness appeareth in the light, rays he hath at his side, and there is the hiding of his power. Now, other ones say he has rays coming from his hand, but basically he has rays of light. Others say 2 horns. So this is what Habakkuk wants explained by God. Habakkuk is actually talking about the future. He's talking about for generations to come. Otherwise, why would you say, in the midst of the years, make it known? In wrath, remember compassion. He's asking him to tell us what is in his hand. And in his hand is 2 horns, which I have explained is radiation travel, water travel, steam travel, any kind of energy, if it's involved, it has to move in a double helix, which is the Aleph of God, which is the bull's head. And if you look at the bull's head and imagine that in 3 dimensions, you have a single point in the center, 2 straight arms coming out, and then 2 rotational curves, just like an X-flare. That's what the Aleph of God would look like if you looked at it from above. So this is the Aleph of God, which is what is coming out of his hand, 2 horns, but it's not really a bull's head. It's more, see, if you look at it in 3 dimensions and imagine that a rotating tube of 2 wires, and you look at it from above, you get this. So if you think and you have a brain and you can imagine, you will see that I am correct. So, and just to show you this power in the universe, that, you know, this is energy at its finest, here's a picture of it on the sun and on Mars, because all energy travels the same way. And because energy travels in the same way always, and it is the Aleph of God, the ball that I just showed, I can also show you that the Aleph of God is galaxy rotation. So there we go. Habakkuk shown to be giving a prophecy for the future, that God's work will be fully explained, which I've done and I'm still doing. So there we go. That's basically evidence showing that Habakkuk says that God's work will be revealed, and I've shown it through scripture, through science, through images of God's Aleph, and a million other things. So yeah, there we go. God led me to that. It was about 3, 4, 5, 6 months before I found that scripture. Basically, God was allowing me to figure it all out first and understand that it travelled in a double helix, and then he took me to Habakkuk 3:4 and said, there it is coming out of my hand. So believe what I say and get baptized into Jesus Christ before the coming storm, because the wrath is coming. This is the mercy being extended right now, is the fact that I am showing how God did everything. It's pretty easy, actually, and anybody who's getting their head round the fact that energy moves in a corkscrew, you know, there's an X-flare, comes out from the middle and spins round because it's a rotating tube of energy and it carries matter with it. Thanks very much and have a happy new year. My name is Lee and I'm a Christian.